Good evening, everybody. My name is Neru Padmanabhan. I am a financial professional and a trained mental health worker. We're on Public Allies Inc. platform, and we are here as a nonprofit organization, and we do educational videos, webinars, roundtables, interviews, and we help individuals move up in the world, and we help address anxieties, and a lot of other problems and stressors that people have. And people ask us often, why do you do so many unique topics? Why do you talk about so many off the chart things? We talk about the topics that our audience ask us about. We talk about the topics that give our audience anxiety. They give them stress. And they tell us in turn, we need more education. Education is the great equalizer. And here at Public Allies, our mandate is to assist people and the most vulnerable individuals. So during COVID, vulnerability became everybody's story. And this, as it is, we as public allies came to address it for not only individuals in the lower ranks, but individuals in business, women, men, children struggling to make their way through COVID and learn their way through the new employment industry, learn their way through the new real estate market. So here I have with me today, and backed by popular demand always, powerhouse businesswoman and real estate broker with Homelife Galaxy, Swapna Chari. She runs her own team called the Swap Team. She's been in real estate and business for more than 11 years. She's been an office manager and worked in various capacities in real estate office and is very knowledgeable about the real estate market, rules, and regulations. So you can reach her anytime with any questions at 416 888 9492. So give Swapna a call for any questions that you have. And today, our topic is going to be pre-construction. So Swapna, I'm going to tell you to take it away. I feel like your introduction is always missing a few pieces, and it always doesn't do justice to you, because as I meet Swapna more and more, I find out more and more about who she is and how she helps her clientele and how she helps women and children in business, and how real estate is actually not just a business, it's a relationship that's cultivated between two people or two parties. And that relationship lasts. And Swapna really is a model for that. So thank you, Swapna, for always coming back and always being with us. And always educating our audience, not only through separate webinars that you do, roundtable discussions, interviews, and women's empowerment that you do, not only for this, but also your team. So I'd like to congratulate you and the lesser discussed work that you do in your community, all the donations that you do through Homelife and you do alongside Homelife, which is your realty, your brokerage. So thank you so much for all of the things that you've done, not only as that, but our community partner. I'd like to congratulate you on all of those things. So go ahead, Swapna, floor is yours.
Thank you. Thanks, Neru. Thanks, Aisha. Thanks to Public Allies, guys, once again, for always giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge and discuss about the real estate industry. And like Neru said, anxiety, stress comes in different forms, right? It's not just social pressure, but it also comes through because of work, comes through because of things that you don't understand, how certain things work. And real estate is one of them. If you don't understand how the real estate market works, how mortgage works, how can you afford a house in this market, these things can also cause you stress, because like we all know, food, clothing, shelter, these three things are like the basic human things that all of us need, right, Neru? So and shelter is one of the most important things. Food, clothing, yes, comes secondary, but then we all need a roof above our head, right? And understanding how the real estate market works, and understanding how you can buy a home in this market is really, really very important. Like I tell you guys all the time, you don't need to buy through me, you don't need to sell through me, but if you have any question, or if you're struggling in any area of real estate in terms of buying or selling, or if you want to get a mortgage, if you want to get refinancing, or if you want to understand even basic like how to build a credit to buy your house, you can always feel free to give me a call. Neru gave my number. My number again is 416-888-9492. There is no pressure, no force that you need to buy and sell through me or do any of your real estate transaction through me. I would be more than happy to guide you, help you, and support you as much as I can. Right?
Yes, that's so true. And even if you're waiting 3 years and you have a 3-year plan to buy a house and you have some questions, Swapna is there for you. So we've had some people that have given Swapna a call that are way out from buying a house, and they were more than happy. They came through Public Allies. So thank you so much for that, Swapna, for always educating, assisting our audience, and empowering them.
No problem, my pleasure. So let's talk about a very important market at this point in time, which is the pre-construction market. If you look at wherever you live, you always find a lot of pre-constructions happening all around you, right? So let's talk about the pre-construction market. People ask how the real estate industry is. First, let's touch upon the real estate industry. Real estate industry basically is very cyclic, right? And that's what makes it very exciting. That's what brings life into real estate. That's what makes it interesting. If it was just a flat line where the price always increased or the price always decreased, it would be so boring, right? That's what makes it interesting. Real estate always keeps going up, keeps going down. Right now, if you look at the market, Neru, can I have the first slide, please? And the good thing about the real estate market being cyclic, which is up and down, is you're in control of your property, right? You don't need to buy or you don't need to sell if you're not happy with the way the market is going. If you think the market is high enough, if you think your property will fetch you a good price, then bingo, it's a great time for you to go ahead and sell your property. But if you think the market is not doing as well and it's not the right time for you to sell your property, you don't want to put your property on market and take the risk, again, you're the decision maker because you're the owner of your property. But right now, as we all know, the real estate market is really very hot. Neru, can we go to the next slide, please? The market is so very hot right now. Any property that's being put on the market just gets sold 4 days, 5 days, and there are 20 offers, 19 offers, right? And this kind of market can be really very overwhelming for a buyer, especially if you're a first-time home buyer going through this process. It's a very overwhelming situation. We completely understand, even as realtors, for us, sometimes it gets very, very overwhelming. But the idea is how to work around this market, because if you're waiting for something to happen in the market right now, after the market has become this hot, then I would advise you that you really need to get your act together and buy a house or buy something at this point of time, because the market does not seem to come to any situation or any level where it looks like it's going to fall, right? Or it's going to go down. Prices are just increasing day by day, and affordability is just going down day by day. People are worried about how they can buy a house. So if you're somebody who's just waiting and watching and thinking prices will go down and then you can buy a home, then I would say you better hurry up. It's the right time for you to buy a house, because People who were waiting 4-5 years ago that I'm working with right now are really in tears, right? They feel bad that they should have bought it long time ago. Let's come to the pre-construction market and the resale market. Like we spoke about the resale market, there is a lot of bidding wars going on. Prices are going way up the roof. Properties listed for like 699 are selling at 950. Properties listed at 1.2 are selling at 1.8, right? So this is how the price is. So is this a right time for you to consider buying a pre-construction? The answer is up to you. If you are somebody who finds that it's very hard for you to buy a house in this market, then I would consider I would recommend that you consider a pre-construction project, right? The good thing about the thing about resale market is you need a large down payment. You have to have a ready down payment on hand. The good thing about resale market is you can walk into the house, you can touch, feel, you can feel the emotions inside the house, whether this house is suitable for you, not suitable for you, is it in a good neighborhood? These things you can feel when you walk into a resale home, right? And if you're an investor looking for a resale home, then you have immediate rentability potential, right? So these are what a resale home offers. Now coming to what a pre-construction offers. Let's look at the pre-construction market. It's completely different from what a resale market offers you. If, like I said, if you're somebody who's right now very scared of entering into the real estate market, I would strongly recommend the pre-construction market is a good game changer for you. At least you can buy something without the bidding war, without the competition, right? And I would recommend that for at this time, just buy whatever you can afford to buy at this point in time, right? So it will help you at least enter into the game of real estate. You can always sell it over a period of time and use that money to move on further in real estate. But at least put your foot inside the door of real estate, get into something in real estate. Again, there is no bidding war in pre-construction. If you're somebody who does not have too much money available on hand, like there are people who come to me saying, I have 70,000, I have $80,000 with me right now. What do I do with that money? My recommendation is get into a pre-construction. We are going to talk about what's the advantage, how does the payment structures work in pre-constructions. If you have any little money that is left, if you have it in your bank account sitting, not gaining as much interest, and you have no use of the money right now, right away, then I would recommend that you get into the pre-construction market. The good thing about pre-construction is you will buy at today's price. And when you sell it, when your property is ready to be sold, you will be selling it at the price that the property is worth at that time when you're selling it, right? So your property has pretty much made money without even getting built, which is a great advantage for you, because you had a little bit of money and now it's a large amount of money that you're going to make out of the pre-construction market. Some people come to me with very bad credits. Some people have bankruptcies, others have consumer proposals. Pre-construction again is a very good option for you, because right now builders are just asking you for a letter saying that you can have your mortgage done, right? And over a period of time, because pre-construction is taking 3 years, 4 years, 5 years for it to get constructed, it's only at that point in time you need the actual mortgage. So this is a great time for you to, if your credit is bad, if you have any bankruptcies, any consumer proposal that you have recently applied for, and you are not in a position to buy a resale property, get into the pre-construction market. The good thing about pre-construction is you get to choose your layout, you get to choose which project you want to invest in, and you can get to choose your finishes, right? I have a lot of buyers who come and tell me, I love the idea of living in a brand new home. Like, I love the smell of brand new carpet. I love the smell of the brand new paint. I want to live in a brand new home. Sometimes buyers have that kind of a craze to live in a brand new, untouched, never lived before home. Right. So this is a great market. Again, the pre-construction market. Neru, you need to go to the 4th slide, please. If you're an investor, you have a great return on investment. Like we spoke, you can select the best floor plan, you can select the best unit, and with the money that you have invested now and the amount that you will be selling it for in the future, you will be making a good amount of money from your pre-construction project. The other good thing is you have no carrying costs, right? You're not paying mortgage, you're not going to pay any property tax, no maintenance fees, nothing when you buy a pre-construction, because you're waiting for it to be constructed. So all you do is just give in a deposit money and follow the deposit structure, but you have nothing that you have to pay in between. So you have no carrying costs. So you're not burdened with any more finances that you need in place. If you're an investor and you choose to rent out the property once it's built, like we all know, you will be renting it out at the market value at that time. And right now, as soon as immigration starts, for sure, rental market is just going to boom high up, right? And as soon as life comes back to normal, everybody is going to go back to work. There is going to be a lot of demand for real estate. So real estate, you cannot go wrong, right? So your tenant will be paying your mortgage payments. The other advantage of pre-construction is there is very less maintenance fees because the building is brand new. They don't have as much in terms of repairs or as much in terms of maintenance. So your maintenance fee is like really, really low. The other good thing is you don't need to sell your current home to book for a pre-construction, right? You can wait till your property is getting constructed. So right now, I see a lot of builders giving occupancy in 2023, 2024, 25. So you can stay in your current home until such point that the property is constructed, and you can choose to sell your house a few months before you get the possession of your new property. The other advantage of pre-construction, it comes with something called as a carry-on warranty. A lot of builders have the carry-on warranty. It's a 7-year warranty on your new home. You can speak to the builder that you're booking the house with about carry-on warranty. It covers for a lot of structural things that happens because of the builder, not because of your negligence, right? And some builders also offer something called as leasing during the occupancy period, which you should speak to the builder about while booking the property. We'll be having a slide where I'll talk to you about what all you need to ask the builder when you're booking a pre-construction project, right? So it helps you avoid any surprises when you're taking possession of the property. Can I have the next slide, please? So things that you should consider while purchasing a pre-construction property, these are some of the things. You need to see what kind of amenities are available in the neighborhood. Right now, there are a lot of new condos that's getting built at Brimley, Ellesmere, Markham, Ellesmere, Liverpool and Bailey. There is new construction coming up in Mississauga, in Brampton, Oshawa. These are great places for you to invest in because they either have colleges, they have universities, they are closer to downtown. Commute from Oshawa to downtown is like an hour. So these are things that you need to consider. What kind of transportation is available? If you choose to rent out the property in future, what kind of population would live? Whether it's going to be a student population or whether it's going to be an older population, a working professional population. So these are things that you should consider while you're booking for the pre-construction, right? What are the future developments that's expected in the area? So compared to the current price that you're paying for the pre-construction, what would be the value of the property down the road? You can get statistics about property down the road, looking at properties that are selling in that area at this point in time, right? If it's a 1-bedroom condo with 1 washroom, you can look at condominiums around that area that you're looking to purchase to see how much it is selling for at this point in time. So there will be an increase in the value when you take possession of the property, right? The other thing you should consider is builder's reputation, a very, very important factor that you should consider. Book your properties with known builders. I'm not going to take any names, but you guys have heard a lot of builder names again and again, a lot of reputed builders. So make sure you book your property with reputed builders. The other thing is, look at what the floor plan is and what's the price per square footage is, right? These things make a big difference. So these are some of the things that you will consider when you're looking to purchase a pre-construction property. There is something that I needed to touch upon. It's called as cooling off period. Neru, can I have the next slide, please? So cooling off period. What is the cooling off period? This is a great thing that's available when you're looking to build a pre-construction with a builder. Cooling off period is nothing but a time for you to sit and think about the pros and cons of something that you're buying, right? Normally, the cooling off period is 10 days, not 10 business days, 10 days by builders in Ontario. So make sure you ask the builder if there is a cooling off period. The good thing about the cooling off period is you can change your mind without losing the deposit money that you have given the builder, right? If you choose not to buy the property, you have to make up your mind within those 10 days. It's only then you will get your deposit money back, right? In these 10 days, I would recommend that you contact a pre-construction lawyer, right? There are lawyers specific for pre-constructions. Make sure you take the builder's contract to them, ask them to go through the contract thoroughly and give you a summary of what the contract says, right? Because the contract has a lot of legal terminology. It has a lot of things that are written in small, which will affect your purchase. So you need to take your contract to a pre-construction specializing lawyer, because they know what to look for, they know what to find, and they will give you a summary. They will explain to you what exactly is in your contract. So that way you can make a more knowledgeable and a more intelligent decision, right? Whether you want to go ahead with the property or you want to back off. And again, this is available with a lot of builders. Make sure that you ask if there is a cooling off period. And this applies only to properties that you're buying directly from the builders. It does not apply to assignment sales. Make sure that you remember that when you go and see the builder and you're looking to book a property, make sure you ask them if there is a cooling off period. And in Ontario, it's about 10 days, right? Let's go to the next slide. What makes pre-construction so attractive? It's because the deposit structure. Like I said, if you're somebody who does not have a lot of money on hand at this point in time, but you're looking to enter the real estate industry, pre-construction is a great thing because of the deposit structures that builders offer. On an average, you need about 20% down payment. And the good thing about the down payment is you don't need all the 20% at one time like resale properties. So normally this is the general deposit structure that most builders follow. So when you're booking the unit with the builder, you normally pay 5,000 to 20,000, depending on what the builder asks you for at the time of signing. And again, like I explained to you, the deposit money that you give the builder is not deposited until the cooling off period is over. So once the 10 days are over, that's when the builder deposits that deposit money. If you choose not to buy your pre-construction property within those 10 days, that deposit check comes back to you, and you don't pay any penalty. Your contract just gets null and void, right? So the next deposit would be 5% in the next 30 days, it would be another 5% in 180 days, another 5% on occupancy. So this is how normally builders split the 20% into blocks of 5%. Some builders are very flexible. They if their construction is over in 2024, they offer you 5% each year. So 2021 you pay 5%, 22 5, 23 5, and 24 5. And it's a very easy payment structure, does not put a lot of burden on you, and it's a great way for you to invest in real estate. It's like just putting some money aside each month in a disciplined manner, right? It doesn't put too much financial stress. There are a lot of builders who offer another flexible plan, which is like $1,000 monthly for the next 5 years, right? Or the next 3 or 4 years. Again, that's another payment plan that you can consider when you're looking to book a pre-construction. So the deposit structure makes it very attractive. You don't need to shell out. You don't need all the money at one time. You don't need to borrow from anybody. You can just start putting money away in a very disciplined manner. Right. The next slide talks about maintenance fees. So when it comes to a pre-construction project, and if it's a condominium, like a stacked condo, or like a townhouse, or like a condo townhouse, you need to find out what the maintenance fees would be upfront. You can ask the builder how many cents per square footage. They will tell you like 45 cents, 54 cents. And the next question you need to ask them is, what does the maintenance fees cover, right? Does it cover water, heat, hydro? Does it cover common elements, any building insurance? Does it cover the parking, locker, or do you need to pay anything on a monthly basis for the parking and locker? These are the questions that you need to ask about the maintenance fees, right? The thing about maintenance fees is the cost gets shared with all the residents of the building or the residents of the condominium complex, which is good in many ways, but it sometimes also puts pressure. If somebody makes a mistake, that amount gets shared between all the residents in the condominium, right? You cannot blame each other. The money gets distributed equally. Everybody's maintenance charge goes up at the same time, right? But the good thing about it is you don't need to shovel snow. You don't need to do your gardening. You don't need to take care of the common areas. Everything is covered for you in that maintenance fees. So make sure you find out what the maintenance fees is. Like I said, because it's a brand new building or a brand new condominium, it will not be very high in the beginning. It's only as the building gets older and requires more maintenance and more repairs, the maintenance fees goes up. So make sure you find out what the maintenance fees covers in the beginning, right? The next thing that you need to look for in a pre-construction is, if it's a condominium or a condominium complex, you need to find out what building amenities the area would have. A lot of people feel swimming pool is a great thing to have. It is a great thing to have. But then if I ask people living in a condominium, normally I ask them, how many times have you been to the swimming pool? It's hardly once or twice a year, right? So a lot of builders have stopped building swimming pools inside the condominium complex because it adds a lot of money to the maintenance fees. It's a great thing to not have a swimming pool in the building. That's a big advantage, I would say, right? And typical modern amenities these days includes facilities for the pets. I know a lot of condominiums that have a pet wash area. They have basketball courts, video game. If you have any guests that you don't want to take all the way up to your unit, you can meet them in guest reserved areas. You have party rooms, fitness centers. A lot of condominiums that I visited downtown have a designated spot where courier people leave packages, like Amazon, Best Buy, wherever you order from. They have a designated spot where they leave your package and you can come and pick up your package from that spot, which is a great convenient thing to have. a lot of other condominiums I have seen also have something called as guest suites. What these suites are is, because your condo unit might be pretty small, it might be 500 square feet, 800 square feet, and all of a sudden you have guests coming and visiting you, and you have no place for them to sleep or to have their time. You can book these guest suites. They cost you like $50, $60, $100 per night. It's just like living in a hotel room, but the convenience is that they are in your own building, right? That's a great advantage. A lot of builders seem to have guest suites in their building amenities as a part of it. So find out what the building amenities are when you're looking at pre-constructions. The next good thing about pre-construction is there is something called as an assignment. Just like when you're talking to the builder to find out about the cooling off period, find out if there is an assignment facility. So what assignment facility is, even before you take possession of the property, you can sell the property without any penalty, right? Which means you're not selling the actual unit, but you as a seller, you're selling the interest in that unit to a new buyer, right? So the good thing about assignment is, just as an example, if I have bought a unit for $599 at this point in time, but 2 years down the road, my property is my condo unit, say, is worth 700, and now I want to sell my unit, I can sell it to the new buyer at 700, right? And the good thing about it is you have already made money even before you got possession of the property. So that's what is called as an assignment sale. When you're talking to the builder, find out if there is any fee for assignment, 5,000, 10,000. If the builder does not offer assignment for free, I would recommend that it's worth getting the assignment facility, because life changes constantly, right? Tomorrow you might get transferred from Toronto to Vancouver and you need to sell this unit. If you don't have an assignment, you cannot sell it. You will be paying a penalty. So it's always good to have that facility. And because life changes, say you get married, you are looking for a bigger space to live, or you have a baby along the way in 2-3 years, and you're looking to sell this unit to move on to a bigger unit. If you have the assignment facility, you can easily do it. So make sure that you get the assignment clause. You make sure that you either get the assignment facility for free, or if there is a small fees that needs to be paid for this assignment, make sure you pay it and get it for you. Now let's talk about assignment benefits for seller. Like we spoke, you can sell your unit earlier and you can take that money and reinvest wherever you want to reinvest. There is no carrying cost, because again, the unit is not even built. The good thing about this is you don't need any mortgage, right? You don't need to approach any banks for mortgage. You can just sell the unit without even having a mortgage, which is a great thing. You have no closing costs, because it's the new buyer who is going to pay the closing costs. You, other than lawyer fees, you have nothing else. And you can take advantage of the hot market. Like right now, I see a lot of people who are taking advantage of hot market by putting their properties on assignments, right? It's a great thing to do. You will have the same opportunity when the market remains the same, or when it becomes hot, you can always assign it and move on. Let's move on to the next slide. What are some of the typical costs? Neru, I think you missed a slide in between. So what are some of the typical costs that you will incur from a pre-construction before closing? Unlike a resale property, there is no such cookie cutter thing that I can tell you for pre-construction, because every builder is different. Everything is different for every pre-construction, right? There is no thumb of rule that a builder can charge you only this much, or this would be the closing cost on the closing day, right? It depends on what's written in your agreement of purchase and sale. That's one of the reasons I said, make sure you go to a pre-construction lawyer, make sure you go through this agreement along with the lawyer, get a summary and understand what your closing cost will be, right? So that you can avoid any surprises, because I have seen a lot of people buy pre-construction property without understanding what their closing cost is, and they run on the last day looking for $30,000, $50,000 because they had a surprise in their agreement of purchase and sale. So to avoid this, make sure that you go through it with a pre-construction lawyer. There is typically something called as a development charge or a development levy when you're buying a pre-construction. So just like you will be asking about the assignment clause, cooling off period, this is one thing that I would like to recommend that you pay attention to about what the developmental charges are. Remember, pre-construction property is something you're booking right now, and you will be taking possession of it like 4 years down the road, and lots of things changes in 4 years. Like no one expected COVID, right? Just like that. 3-4 years down the road, none of us know what life will throw at us or what will happen to anything, right? So it's better for you to be prepared for it. But if you leave the developmental charges as an open thing, your charges could be anything at the end of the 4 years. So make sure you ask the builder to cap your development charge. Builders do it. If you cap the development charge, doesn't matter what happens to the real estate market, doesn't matter what happens to the construction industry, doesn't matter what happens to your life, the development charge will remain the same, right? If it's 20,000 cap, it will be 20,000 in 4 years. But if you leave that development charge open and you don't ask the builder to cap it, it could be 40,000, 50,000, right? In the end, builders don't absorb any loss. Everything comes and falls on the buyer. So if you fail to cap it, then it comes and falls on your lap. So make sure that you cap the developmental charge. There are also other levies that you should ask how much they are going to cost. There is something called as a municipal levy. Again, when the builder applies to the city for building permits, there is something called as a municipal levy, which gets transferred to the buyer. Again, you need to cap that charge. There is something called as an educational levy. If you're buying a new pre-construction project and there is no school around that area, for them to build a school, the educational levy is charged. Similarly, there is also called as a park levy. Again, if there is no parks, no trails, nothing for people to walk around, a park gets built in the new area. And again, there is something called as a park levy. So make sure that your developmental charge, municipal levy, park levy, educational levies, all these levies are capped at a certain price, right? Also, because the area is new, there is something called as a utility hookup cost. To bring utilities into that area, again, you need to cap that price, right? If you don't cap that price, you're opening yourself for a risk in 3 to 4 years, and that's how you will end up in surprises. So make sure that you cap. The other expense that you will have in a pre-construction, whether it's pre-construction or resale, you will have is the legal fees. The next slide, Neru. So in Ontario, when you buy any property, a lawyer takes care of your closing, whether it's resale, pre-construction, it's the same thing. It would only be nice of you to use the same lawyer who went through the agreement of purchase and sale with you on the closing date, because that lawyer is already familiar with what's written in your agreement of purchase and sale, and they know what to look for. A typical lawyer legal fees for any transaction in real estate is anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000. That's a very reasonable price if you're working with a lawyer. So the legal fees is another thing that you will incur on the closing date, right? I have a few more tips here when you're buying a pre-construction. Like I told you in the previous slide. Check the builder's reputation when you're buying a pre-construction. It's very, very important, because I've heard a lot of people saying, oh my God, I booked a pre-construction and the builder has declared bankruptcy. Oh my God, I had a pre-construction project booked and the builder disappeared. The builder declared insolvency. How do I get my deposit back? There is a way to get your deposit back from Tarion, but you will not get your entire entire money back. Tarion has fixed prices. If it's a condo, if it's a house, there is fixed amount that you will get back. So make sure that you book your property with reputed builders. They may charge you a little bit higher in terms of price, but they have been around in the area for a very long time in the construction industry, right? The other thing that I would highly recommend is when you're in doubt, any doubt, just ask. Either ask the builder or ask the lawyer for clarification, right? You need to ask. Lot of questions. Cooling period, developmental charges, levies, assignment. These are different things that you should know. These are terms that you should know when you're looking at pre-construction, and make sure you ask the builder these questions. If you don't get any proper answer from the builder, take your contract to a lawyer and ask the lawyer to go through the contract, because all builder contracts are written by lawyers. So a lawyer will be surely able to help you with that contract. Before you do anything, in the cooling off period, you will be signing the agreement of purchase and sale. But if you are going to sign anything more than that, please make sure that you have negotiated, you have agreed upon, and you have it written in the contract. Verbal agreement is not a form of agreement with the builder, right? It has to be written in your contract, because like again I said, you're signing something today for something that you will have in your possession 4-5 years down the road. Nobody remembers what happened 4 days ago, right? So 4-5 years is like a long way down the road. So make sure that you have everything written that you had discussed with the builder in the agreement of purchase and sale. Very, very important. Ask different questions with the builder, like what if there is a construction delay? When will you be notified? What happens if there is a delay? Do you get compensated in any way? What kind of materials gets used inside the unit? Can you see a sample of what goes in the kitchen cabinet? What goes as the kitchen floor, the washroom, vanity? Can you see samples of that? A whole bunch of builders have model suites right now. Because of COVID, I know builders are booking appointments for people to come and take a look at the model suites. So make sure that you go visit the model suite and take a look at what kind of materials, what kind of finishing is done, right? Because that will give you an idea of what your unit will look down the road. So make sure you look at the model suites. And you also need to ask the builder whether you need a mortgage letter, right? The good thing about, I don't know if I should say a good thing, you don't need the actual pre-approval letter, because pre-approval letters are valid only for about 90 days from the time you get the pre-approval letter, right? So when you're getting possession of the property 4 years down the road, that pre-approval letter is of no validity. So you need to apply for a mortgage at that time. So a lot of builders right now are just looking for a letter from any reputed lender saying that you can qualify for a mortgage. That's all they are looking for. So make sure that you get that letter from any reputed banks, or a mortgage broker can surely help you get that letter. Again, if you need any help from me in terms of getting that letter, I can always refer you to the right mortgage broker who can help you with it, right? So basically, these are the things that you need to look for when you're buying a pre-construction. We do have a lot of pre-construction projects with us from the swap team. We have the L condo at Brimley and Ellesmere. We have a lot of units at the For Me condo at Markham and Ellesmere. We have the Applewood in Mississauga. We have some properties coming up at Pickering, at Liverpool and Bailey, Oshawa. We have projects by Tribute. We have projects by different builders. If you need any of those pre-construction projects, units, or if you'd like more information, you would like to see the floor plans, need any pricing details, you can feel free to give me a call. My number is 416-888-9492. Or if you need any other information about pre-construction, or if you have any questions about your agreement, if you need any recommendations for pre-construction lawyers, always feel free to give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to help you in whatever way I can within my means. So with that, I'm done. If you have any questions for me, I can answer them.
Wow, that was so jam-packed. I actually learned a lot. I was taking notes, and as well, I was managing the questions. So we do have a few questions here. That is a lot of talking, Swapna. Get a get a drink of water.
I should.
Take a sip of water there, young lady. I was like, is she breathing in between? That was a lot of great
No, I
information.
was breathing.
It was a lot of great information. I, for one, learned a lot about pre-construction, and it sounds like it's a great way as a first-time home buyer to jump into the market. It's a good place to be,
Mhm.
especially when the GTA market seems overinflated for you. So that is kind of our question: is how would this help me as a first-time home buyer? And I think you've answered that really, really well. But if you want to just really quickly touch on it, to go ahead and just answer that
Sure,
question.
if you're a first time home buyer and if you're not very comfortable about how the resale market is going on right now, because prices are really high, a lot of first time home buyers are not able to afford those prices, because I'm sure you have a pre-approval from the bank which is not even close to what the property is selling for, right? And if you have money on hand and you're looking to enter into the real estate market, it's a great time for you to just buy a pre-construction, because probably the resale market is going to remain like this. And if you're going to keep waiting longer, you're going to lose. At least you will have something on hand that you can sell down the road and move on. Right. So it's a great place for you to enter into the real estate market through the pre-construction.
Definitely. It sounds like you're able to sell it, assign it later on,
Yeah.
and then you can get that lump sum to actually buy the home that you need. I love the fact that you talked about life changes and pre-constructions can be changed later on. So it's not do or die. So the next question would be, if the person wants to purchase a pre-construction, um, how do they figure out that the final costs are going to be? So as you said, that there's going to be a cap on the prices. Is there chances that prices can change as they pre-construct?
No, not not the price that you're paying for the property. So if you're buying it at 499 or whatever the price, that remains the same. The only things that change if you do not cap it is the developmental charges, because if the price of lumber goes up, it's added to the developmental charge, right? If the price of any material goes up, it gets added to the developmental charge if you have not capped it. But if you have capped it at 30,000, that's what the builder is allowed to charge you on the closing date, right? So it automatically goes to people who forget to cap.
Mm-hmm. I've met a few people that have had those complaints, especially for seniors who are on fixed incomes. That's so important when you sell your big home and you downsize.
Yeah.
I've heard about pre-constructions doing that, and all of a sudden they put a playground down and you end up having to pay extra for the playground, all of those extra things. So if somebody doesn't cap it, what are their mitigation? How can they mitigate if there's no way to mitigate after?
You have to pay. Builders don't negotiate, right? Builders don't negotiate purchase price. So builders don't negotiate the charges later on or the purchase price. So that's why you need to be really, really careful and go through that agreement. The agreement has a lot of things written in small letters, for which you need the lawyer to explain what the terminology is.
A lawyer and a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Yes. So you need to point out all of the things that need to be understood prior. I think I can keep you here all day, but for a lot of the financial clients that I work with, a lot of single moms, it sounds like pre-construction can be a place where they can find a way into the real estate market, because that is the biggest concern for a lot of new home buyers, for a lot of immigrants. How do I get my foot into the real estate market? So it sounds like a great way for individuals to do that through pre-construction, as long as they have all the right information, they cap everything, and they're capable of doing that through the help of a lawyer and a real estate agent, a real estate broker. Everybody, I think I can keep Swapna here all night with questions, but I think we're going to end here. I'd like to say thank you to Swapna Chari for also always giving us so much time and so much information, and always empowering our audience and educating them so your anxieties are lower. So I hope this helps a lot of people today who are wondering, how do I get my foot into the market? Keep in mind, further out, sometimes those condos can be really low price. So like, into the 400s, into the 500s, and that's where you find your foot in. So talk to Swapna, find out where you can find your foot in. And if you got approved for a lower amount, this might be the place that you can get in, and then you move up from that. So give her a shout. Can you give us your phone number one more time, Swapna?
Sure, it's 416-888-9492.
Awesome. So thank you again from us at Public Allies. We'll be back here again with another wonderful webinar next week on a different topic. Signing off from me, Neru Padmanabhan and Swapna Chari. Everybody have a great evening. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Bye.
Neru. Thanks, Public Allies.